Hey everybody, welcome to the Keto Mom page. My name is Stephanie and we are going to dive into the book that we are reading every single morning. We've been going through a chapter or a piece of this book for this month, and we're going to continue to do it every single month in the mornings to help you get your mindset right, to help you throughout your day, to give you a thought to think on, to ponder, to help you on your journey of life. You might be going, I'm here for the keto diet. I want to lose some weight. Awesome, awesome, awesome. And hands down, this will help you achieve that because I 100% believe mindset is so important. So as you're tuning in, I would love for you to press the share button. Sharing is caring. And I am actually going to shake up my protein. I had worked out this morning. So I did my whole morning routine, but I did not do it in a quick fashion. I don't know. That wasn't really a word. Normally I get up earlier and try to get everything done and on here by 7:30 or 8 at the latest. And this morning, we woke up in Florida. So where are you tuning in from? We are in Florida. We're in Tampa right now. And we were getting blamed for bringing the cold weather. And I'll tell you this. For us Minnesotans, it's not cold here at all. It is very, very nice. But it's definitely not, you would not think it's like hot Florida. It's like, hey, we're in Florida and we can sit in a sweatshirt and sit outside. In Minnesota, it's negative 30. Here, it's probably like 55. I don't even know what the temperature is. Babe, what's the temperature? Babe, the sun is coming out. Might be 55 or 60. It's gorgeous. And my kids are in the water. There's no way you're going to catch me in the water. But I'm going to shake up my protein. I've had a great morning so far. What is it? 64 degrees. So I think that's nice. Some of you Floridarians have said that we brought the cold weather, but listen, I promise. So just fine. For those of you who want to know about our communication app, you could send a little thing out. Yeah, I didn't send one today. Okay, so if you want to receive text messages or encouragement or inspirational quotes, we send out stuff every day. All you have to do is text inspiration to 507-204-9866. I memorized it. So we're going to dive into this book. And I've also had a question about what we're going to do for February. We're going to dive, as soon as this book is done, we're going to read the Miracle Morning again to help you get your systems and habits on track, to help you own your morning. It's a short book. It'll only take, honestly, probably a week to go through. And then we're going to read, what book do I have Emily going through? The one on The Magic of Thinking Big. So I've posted them before. I'll post them again. If you want the books, awesome. If you just want to follow along, awesome. So I would love for you to press the share button. And we are diving into...
Hey, you just said 500 members on community. What do you want me to say?
You should share the life. Say we're doing Mindset Morning.
Mindset Morning.
All right. The law of the rubber band. That's what we're talking about. So I do want to know, how's your morning going? I would love to know where you're tuning in from. And what are you thankful for? Just answer one of the questions. It's great. Press the share button. Okay. Growing stops when you lose the tension between where you are and where you want to go. So this is the book for those who ask. Take a screenshot. It's really a great book just to have in your repertoire of books, having them on your shelves. You can use that. We do school. I've often get asked, do you do school when you travel? You guys, prior to the whole pandemic, we traveled almost every 2 weeks with our business, and we take everything with us. So our kids are working on school right now. I've got 2 in the hot tub. One's reading in the hot tub. Our oldest, our second 2 are doing school in the house, and then we're going to go do some fun around Tampa. We actually came to Tampa for a specific reason. There's an incredible church here that is having a revival that we wanted to go see. So we came to Tampa to go to the revival, to go check out this church. We wanted to show the girls what it was all about, and then we're actually going to West Palm Beach area on Saturday, and it's supposed to be 70 degrees and warmer all week. So the sun will come out after the weekend. All right, here's a couple things to think about as you go throughout your day. God's gift to us is our potential. Our gift to God, we have to develop it. So how do we do that? By getting out of our comfort zone, by continually stretching, not only physically, but also mentally, emotionally, spiritually. Life begins at the end of our comfort zone. We go there by stretching. So I would love to know, do you feel like you've been stretched this month? Maybe this year, the beginning of the year, you made some big goals and hopefully you're stretching yourself. If you're not, I'm going to challenge you to do a little bit more, whatever that more is, right? Whatever your goals are at, whether it's working out or eating a specific way. I was working out this morning. My husband brings a band that when we're traveling, we're just renting an Airbnb right now. So there's not a gym, but he brings this little band and we work out together. And so he's always like, one more rep. And I'm like, okay, one more rep, right? Even if you have to tell yourself, maybe you're working through some addictions, whether it's with sugar or other things, you're making better choices, you're going after your goals. Maybe you have to tell yourself, all right, one more day. If you can just get through today, or one more meal, you can do it, right? Okay, so I'm going to kind of skip through the book because some of it, he tells a lot of stories, which I think is great, but I obviously am not going to read the stories to you, but I'm going to read kind of the highlights of what I took away from my favorite parts. Just got to get all of this. Actually, I really want to drink this. Drink it in a second. Most people use only a small fraction of their ability and rarely strive to reach their full potential. There's no tension to grow in their lives, little desire to stretch. Sadly, you guys listen to this. It's so interesting and it makes me sad. Sadly, a third of high school graduates never read another book for the rest of their lives. What? I was a big reader even in high school. 42% of college graduates similarly never read another book after college. And 32% of all the U.S. population has never been in a bookstore. I wonder why. Do you think that just like from learning and growing and having to like memorize all these useless facts that we've given people we've taken away people's creativity? Or the fact of like, I want to teach my kids to love to learn something, not because they have to, because they get to. I would love to know, if you did not normally read until now when you joined me, what caused you not to read? Is it time? Is it you haven't found a good book to read? What is it? Why did you not read in the past? That would be so interesting. Makes me sad. Too many people are willing to settle for average in their life. And so what he did is he took a really cool long quote and he talked about being average. I have been wrestling with this word, average. I never want to offend people. Do you feel like average is an offensive word? I'd love to know. Like, tell me below. Is average an offensive word? Like, would you be offended if somebody just said to you, you're just average? Or do you feel like that word pushes you so that you don't become average? Does that make sense? So I've been wrestling with, there's some really great quotes and there's things that people would say, I don't want to be average. Is average bad? Is average, like, I just would love to know what people think of this word. It's in my mind, it's a word that I'm like, I don't know. So here's what he says about it. He says a lot. I'm not going to read you the poem. He says, I cannot stand the idea of settling for average. Can you? Personally, in my life, absolutely not. I would say the word average to me is very similar to the word normal. So we love to tell the girls, listen, normal isn't working. We want to be unique and different. So sometimes they'll be like, I just want to be normal, or I just want to be like that person. Why? Normal really isn't working. So he says, do you want to be average? He says he does not. Nobody admires average. It's just something in my head that I'm like, I don't know. The best organizations don't pay for average. Mediocrity is not worth shooting for. The real tragedy is the tragedy of a man who never in his life braces himself for his one supreme effort, who never stretches to his full capacity, never stands up for his full stature. We must be aware of the gap that stands between us and our full potential, and let the tension of the gap motivate us to keep striving for better. I'll tell you, in my personal life, I don't want to be average. I don't want to be normal. So for me personally, I'm always striving to be better in any area of our life. And I don't think better is bad. I think it's something to strive for. But I do feel like it's one of those words that people are like, I don't know. If you plan on being anything less than you are capable of being, you will probably be unhappy all the days of your life. Are you doing everything to your full potential? Do you feel like you are? Here's the book that we're reading. And I do this every morning. just so you know. You can watch the replay or live. Thank you for tuning in. If you've ever settled for the status quo and then wondered why your life isn't going the way that you hoped, then you need to realize that you will only reach your potential if you have the courage to push yourself outside of your comfort zone and break out of the mindset of your mediocrity. That's why we read. That's why your keto diet is not just based on the food that you're eating, or you reaching a certain health goal should not be based on the food that you're eating or the workouts that you do or don't do, because if you're not working on your mindset, then you're not going to fully brace or understand or comprehend or even have an awareness of breaking addictions or breaking habits or creating new habits. There's so many things that you have to learn by working on this in order to achieve the goals you want to achieve. I don't know how many, I feel like I have to say that over and over again. Like, it is so powerful to read and find mentors and listen to somebody that will inspire you and help you one more day. One more day. For all sad words of the tongue or pen, the saddest are these: it might have been. Don't live in the it might have been. Got a couple more things to read to you. You cannot travel within and stand still without. For most people have a dream. For some, it's on the tip of their tongue, and for others, it's buried deep in their hearts, but everyone has one. However, not very many people are pursuing it. Most Americans want to lose weight, but they don't make the effort to do so. It says, I run across people all the time who tell me that they want to lose weight, write a book, run a marathon, but they never start. They never start it because of perfection, or the lack of confidence, the lack of wisdom. Where do I start? Instead of wishing, wanting, and waiting, people need to search inside themselves for a reason to start. What is going to get you to start? It's wise to remember that our situation in life is mainly due to the choices we've made and the actions that we do. We are where we are today because of choices and actions, right? All right, I acknowledge the fact I am where I am today because of choices and the actions. And I can change it. I can make a pivot and I can go a new direction. I can make better choices. The older we are, the more responsible we are for our situations. If we are merely average, or if you are no closer to your dreams this year than you were last year, you can choose to either accept it, defend it, or cover it up and explain it away. Or you can choose to change it, grow from it, and forge a new path. You don't have to wait for a new month. You don't have to wait till February like, shoot, I've already dropped the ball. I'm going to have to wait till February. No. Every day is a new day for you to start. Every life form seems to strive to its maximum Every life form seems to strive to its maximum except human beings. That's Jim Rohn. He says, how tall will a tree grow? As tall as it possibly can. Human beings, on the other hand, have been given the dignity of choice. We have a choice. You can choose to be all, or you can choose to be less. Why not stretch up to the full measure of your challenge and see what all you can do? And here's the last bit of it. Where do you find the internal, where do you get the internal, I can do this? I believe it's reading, watching other people. I've learned from other people, and then I just have a big why. The why for our family, the why for me and my husband is our kids. I want to be better for my husband. I want to be better for our children. We want to leave a legacy. We want them to be able to become adults and not have to go through the challenges of what we've had to do, right? Don't you want your kids to stand on your shoulders someday and reach further than you had ever reached? Because they've learned the lessons that you did right now, but they're learning them along the way, right? Measure what you're doing against what you're capable of. Measure yourself against yourself. Make a contest of it. If you have no idea where you might be capable of, talk to people who care about you, who believe in you, who are around you. Don't have any people in your life who fit. Don't you have any people in your life that fit the descriptions, or anybody in your life that could go, you're really great at this. Here are your talents. Here's where I see that you could inspire other people. What are you good at? You probably know. Then go find a mentor, somebody who can push you, somebody who can tell you what you're good at, and then use the images to inspire you to start stretching. Use what they told you. Yeah. All right, I've got one more thing. I've got to find the page that I circled. So good, so good. This book is a really great book, and the other books we'll be reading next month are great as well. Maybe that's all I wanted to read. Anything you want to say, babe? You want to come say hi?
You want me to come over
Oh,
there?
yes. Okay, I had one more thing. A possibility is a hint from God. One must follow it. I talked about this yesterday, Steve. And if you didn't watch my live from last night, how many of you were sitting back going, if it will be, it will be? Oh, if it's going to happen, it'll happen. Oh, it must not have meant to be. It didn't happen. I was listening to a pastor yesterday in the airplane, and he said, I'm so sick of people saying, if it's going to happen, I'm just going to sit back and let it happen.
Part of their destiny. It's just destiny.
It's just destiny. I was just destined for that. No, you have things inside of you that you know that you're gifted at, you're great at, things you long to do, things that you should be doing, and it requires action. Things don't just fall into place. Here, why don't you pull a chair up? You want to say anything? And then, here's my last little bit, and then my husband can say whatever he wants.
Thanks.
All right? When we stop stretching, I believe we stop truly living.
That's why we stretch this
We
morning.
may keep on breathing. Our vital life signs may be working, but we are dead on the inside and dead to our greatest possibilities. Nature has everywhere written her protest against idleness. Everything which ceases to struggle, which remains inactive, rapidly deteriorating, it is a struggle towards an ideal.
And consistent effort.
The constant.
Oh, yeah.
The constant effort to get higher and further, which develops manhood and character. Do not quit.
Do not quit.
He really talks about, like, look at the trees. The trees don't quit, right? They continue to reach their full maximum potential. Anyways, do you want to say anything?
There's so many things that I'm sitting over there and I'm just listening to my wife just spit so much wisdom.
I really
And
just read and then share. Because did you guys read this? Did you see the statistics? 32% of Americans have never been in a bookstore. As soon as they're done with college, have never picked up another book in their life.
But probably 90% of people have been on Amazon.
Yeah.
And on Amazon, you can get your books.
Yeah.
All right, so
And-
Stephanie, is it all right if I say something?
Yeah, I'd like you to.
You got me super inspired. I don't have any notes. Stephanie's got her book. This is just coming straight from my heart.
Oh, you guys are lucky. He's so good at encouraging people. He's like the best encourager. It's truly a gift he has.
Well, thank
All
you.
right, he's about to encourage you.
We'll
Ready?
see. All right, so to the 90 people who are on, thank you for tuning on. I don't know who sent the stars, but thank you for the stars. I didn't know, but we're going to do something really fun. We're going to do a campaign with the stars because there is a safe home for trafficking that we want to pour money into. It's actually being built in Hawaii through our church.
Oh, yes.
And so what I want to
I didn't
do
know you
is
could do
I
that.
got to figure out what to do with these
He
stars.
understands all of these
Because
things.
we logged in the other day and we noticed that we had some money from stars. And so I want you to know the stars are going to be going towards the safe house. So I'm going to come up with a game plan and we are
We'll
going
write it
to...
up. Our family really is, well, we've got 4 daughters, and our girls like to give to something called Underground Railroad as well. So we're really passionate about helping teens get out of that.
All right, so you talked about why, you talk about destiny, you talked about action, all of these things. And every day when I'm hearing Stephanie go through all of these different invaluable laws of growth, I think of each and every one of us have an opportunity in our life. Each and every one of us, we are writing the story of our book every day. And your choices have consequences.
Right.
I hope you hear that. Your choices have consequences. So if I could tell you the secret, the number one characteristic that's going to help you with living your best life, in having the best relationships, if we could give you that number one characteristic to help you live your best life in optimized health, if we could give you that number one unique characteristic that would honestly take your finances to the next level, do you want to know what that is? If you want to know what that is, I want to see some hearts. I want to see you share this message or throw us some stars so we can go and build this home in Hawaii. I'm going to tell you what that tip is. But first, I'm going to tell you what it's not, okay? So this is what it's not. It's not guessing. It's not hard work and perseverance. Maybe it's perseverance, but
Yeah,
it's
I
not
think perseverance
perseverance.
is good.
There's so many different words that could be used. But the thing that it honestly is, a lot of people think, oh, it's just looking a certain way, or I grew up in a certain neighborhood, or it's the people that I know.
Environment.
It's all these things. And they're all so important, but it's not the number one secret. The number one secret, this unique characteristic, this unique ability, is to be consistent. It is to be consistent in every area of life.
Right.
And so I heard you say something. You said, why? Why do you do what you do? Your why is so important when it comes to being consistent. Thanks. I was like one-eyed. I didn't like the one eye shot. I'm like, I'm not going to even say it. So consistency is everything. Consistency is everything, and I hope you hear my heart. I'm going to give you a couple things. So with consistency, it's understanding the why. You said something earlier. You said, you know what, if you're following your keto diet, if you're on your lifestyle of optimizing your health, a lot of people are like, I'm going to start on Monday. I'm going to start on Monday, and it's Thursday. I'm going to start on Monday, or I'm going to start on the first of the month because it's so important to start on the first of the month. The reality is, thank you, Darlene. We love Tampa. Hey, if you're in Tampa, I want to know where you're at, and maybe we can meet up at the aquarium or go do something fun. Here's what's crazy, though, is if it's really important to you, if it's so important to you, why would you not start right now? That consistency can start today, right now. It doesn't start on Monday. It doesn't start at the beginning of the month, even though we're getting ready to trigger to the next line, to the next month. The reality is it starts right now. If your reason of why you want something, you have to be consistent, but your why has to push you and your why has to pull you to do that consistent action.
Can I give them an example? So like if your goal is to work on your mindset, because we talk about that in the mornings, and your goal is to grow as a person, right? And you've got a strong enough why, then your consistent action could be reading 1 page a day. I think oftentimes people go, okay, Steve, I hear you, consistency. And then they think, I've got to go spend an hour in the gym.
It's so good.
Or I've got to go, all of my meals need to be perfect. We're not asking you to be perfect.
Oh, this is so perfect. This is the second point.
Perfect.
Second point is you have to plan to fail.
Yes.
And you're like, what? Why would you do that? You have to plan to fail.
It's not going to be
and
perfect.
You have to be okay with knowing that.
Right.
Here's what I mean. It's not going to the gym to go crush one workout for 10 hours in one day. And then going home and eating a massive pizza, right. Not sleeping, getting stressed at work. It is doing those little habits. It's stacking those habits. It's the things that you talk about every day. And that's what I love. It's about that everyday consistent, the small little victories.
It's kind of like owning your morning. We're going to go through the Miracle Morning book again, because if you own your morning, you've got these little habits that you do every day, whether it's 6 minutes or 60 minutes. And you can fit there in between, it's going to help you create the momentum.
Because if your why is not strong enough, you're going to go back to eating the chocolate cake late at night. If your why is not strong enough when you're tempted with the Cocoa Puffs and the big Rice Krispies, it's going to be all up in your face. If you're not consistent with those small little habits, if your why is not strong enough, if you already set yourself, you're like, all right, well, guess what? I was doing really good for like a week. I did great for a couple days. And then all of a sudden, I went to that birthday party or I ate that stuff. Like, I'm done. I'm going to have to just redo this. I guess I'm not cut out for this.
There's not a redo. You just keep going.
You know, it's so crazy. There's a study from Harvard, and Harvard said that 40% of your decisions... I love the background singing. It's beautiful. You girls are very good. I love it. So 40% of your daily decisions are already decided upon, like they're already decided for you based upon the systems that you have in your life. Did you know that? So we have to make some things obvious. You have to make a plan. So let's just say for working out, for example, if you want to get started, you have to have your shoes by the door. You have to have your shaker bottle filled with water. You have to have your ketones on the counter, on the table, or in your gym bag. Like there's little things that you can do to make a better system. Because if your system falters, what's going to happen is you're going to be like, oh, you know what? I don't have my shoes. I left them at work. Something like you can always come up with an excuse to not do it. So we have to look at the system, and we have to find out ways to make things better. Right. You also don't mess up good for perfect. Right. And that's why we said the second point is you have to plan to fail, because the reality is as we're growing, we're learning. As we're growing, and as we're
fall and stumble, and you're going to get back up.
So good. So
anything else?
You have to know your why. You have to plan to fail. And then I would say this with the whole aspect of this this number one secret, this number one unique gift of this characteristic of consistency is you truly have to fall in love with the process. You have to pursue the journey. You have to enjoy this adventure of life, okay? You have to enjoy it.
Yep.
You have to fall in love with the process, and you have to divorce those failures, because those failures are not who you are, okay? There's greatness in you because greatness made you. And I just want to encourage you, you're worth the investment in your life. You're worth the investment in your talents and your dreams and your calling, because it's inside of you for a reason.
Yes.
And so your
Guys,
kids,
so good.
your
Should've been
family,
a
your
preacher.
community, all of those things, they're so important, because the impact that you have, it starts with you and it goes out.
Right.
And the ripple of the influence that you have it inside of you. And so I just wanted to encourage you, as I'm listening to Stephanie every day go through these books, and as she's growing her mindset, and as she's hopefully giving you a little bit of a spark to start your day or to finish your day stronger than you started it, I just want you to know that you're worth the investment in yourself. And so for those of you who've shown up for this live, for those of you who are watching the replay, I just want you to know that those dreams, those desires, that stirring that's inside, and maybe it's up here, but I want you to move it down to your heart, and I want you to come up with a game plan, spend some time, and honestly know that you're worth it. All of those things, all those ideas, all of those, whatever those are in your life, because each and every one of us have unique and different callings, whatever that is in your life, you have to activate on it. That's the reason why you're here.
Action.
Take action. Don't mess up good for perfect. Know that consistency is that number one key ingredient. Fall in love with the process. Understand your why. And you know what? It's okay. Plan to fail. But if you quit, don't quit.
The
Keep
only way
enjoying
you
the
fail
process.
is if you quit. You're not a failure. You may have stumbled. Get back up and keep going.
So I hope that was.
Oh, that was so good. You guys like it? If Steve comes on, you have to tell him that you liked hearing from him, because if you do, then I'll make him come on every morning.
Well, I don't know about every morning.
Yeah.
I like to sit over there and
Well,
listen.
he'll listen, and then I'll have him give us recap. How about that?
So I think
You
that
can
was
tell
really
your
good.
husbands to listen too. There's a lot of ladies on here, but
Yeah, I know. I appreciate you all sharing this with ladies. You know what? If there's any guys that you want to have hop on here, I think that'd be great too.
all right. We hope you guys have a great day. Continue to tune into the page for all the recipes and tips and tricks that you look for. KetoMomSecrets.com has all the recipes.
Thanks for the
Otherwise,
stars.
we'll talk to you soon. Bye, everybody.
Bye, everyone.